Hey guys, welcome to another exciting with Bento Samurai Xtreme, your number one source, anime, JRock, video games, and Blizzard news, guys. This week we're gonna do the fusion method because Steve's at UCLA, I'm at Cal Poly Pomona, guys, and we're doing this, so bear with us, guys. But however, next week we're gonna be together. So, guys, the biggest highlight this week for me is Resident Evil 6. They're offering this jacket and the game premium games in Japan for $1,300 in US dollars, equaling to about 105,000 yen. Wow, that's a ridiculous amount of money for just one video game, guys. However, in America, the game's only worth about $100 for the collector's edition. However, the way it works in Japan is that they have the Xbox 360 version and the PS3 version, and they're giving you this jacket that Leon wears in the game, and they're giving you this tablet case that comes with extra codes for secret characters, Leon's extra stuff, and Chris stuff. So, guys, that sounds great. If you read Japanese, I recommend to get this if you're a huge Resident Evil fan. However, the game is only going to be allowed to pre-order until June 11th. And for international fans who are in Club 96, they're saying you could use up to 906,000 points in the Capcom's official website, guys. So pretty much what the great news is, the game got moved up. In Japan, it's coming out in October 4th. And Europe and North America is getting released in October 2nd, guys. That's a huge update. And this week, guys, I'm going to try out a new thing, actually, because a lot of the news this week is on anime and video games. So I just fused it up, and pretty much a lot of it's on anime and or video game / anime, guys. So I'm going to start with an anime news this week, guys. K-On! Is pretty much hiking up the sales for electric guitars. Pretty much because this whole anime is about 4 to 5. There's actually 5 members now. 5 members. They're a rock band and an all-girl high school. A lot of Asia's high schools are still like that, all boys or girls, or they do have co-ed. Because of this, they're saying Japan's Minister of Finance, they're saying that they imported about 393,000 guitars throughout 2011. Another great thing is that in this article, some manager at a store saying that the last 3 years, their sales went up on Gibsons and Fenders pretty much. Wow, that's crazy, guys. Another great thing is the film came out this last December. It made about $20 million in US dollars. That's a lot of money. And they're saying the box office is still continued since March of 120,000 times, guys. That's a lot of viewing for just one movie, guys. But K-On! Is awesome. I even watch it, guys. Next thing is Pokemon Black and White. Number 2 is coming out this summer, actually, in Japan and in the fall for America. But however, the game is actually, they said they got some new prodigies, new supporters, cast, and 300 registered Pokemon, and a new city, guys. If you guys want more details, Anime News Network has it. And the release date is June 23rd in Japan, and following the fall, it's coming out in North America and Europe, guys. Another great news is that Namco is creating a Dragon Ball Z Connect game, actually. Wow, great. Pretty much Connect's coming out with a game. The motion sensor game is making a Dragon Ball Z. This last Wednesday in Las Vegas, they did a press release saying Namco is actually creating this game. There's going to be 50 characters playable, 100 moves that you could use. Top of that, they're saying that you could actually download these characters quickly with quick response codes, guys. So you don't have to play the game all the way through if you're one of those people that, I'm like one of those people who don't like playing all the way through the game. Another great thing is that there's going to be a new 30-minute footage of animation that's coming in with it, and it's getting released in October of 2012 in North America, guys. Sounds great, guys. What a jam-packed week. Pure video game news. Value, who made Steam, pretty much. Steam games are, I played Counter-Strike a long time ago. There was a rumor flowing out that they're going to make a hardware platform, pretty much. There was a lot of rumors flowing out, but this rumor is becoming true because on their website, they're saying they're hiring computer science and electrical engineers to develop this new system they actually wanted to do. So if you guys are looking for a job, go to Value's website and you might get hired, actually, guys. Great. It's jam-packed week, guys. Sorry that I put anime and video game news together, but however, it's great that a lot of it's developing. And, next week, stay tuned that we are actually going to be together. Me and Steven and I are actually going to be together next week, guys. And stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Welcome, guys, to another edition of Bento Samurai Xtreme, your number one source for anime, JRock, video games, and Blizzard news, guys. Well, we're going to dive right into this week's JRock news. If you guys don't know, J-pop singer Mayan is coming out with her 3rd installment solo album entitled Heat. You guys can find out more about this album and her concert and tour in Japan on more info on jmuworld.com. In other news, if you guys are familiar with Jin Nakanishi, he recently had a concert in LA Live Nokia Theater in Los Angeles late last year. You guys can find more about how the concert went on JMWorld.com. According to JMWorld.com, Jin Nakanishi doesn't need a lot to make a great show for his fans. So this was his first tour stop in America, in Los Angeles. So you guys are in for a real treat. Go check it out, only on JMWorld.com. In other news, X Japan has finally released their Volume 1 X Japan World 2 podcast. So you guys can find this podcast, it's about 3 minutes long, on their podcast YouTube channel. It connects all their World Tour locations from the very heart of Los Angeles, the World Trade Theater, which Brian and I went to. It was awesome. It was a blast. All the way to their latest concert, which I believe was in Shanghai or Hong Kong. Go check it out, guys. It's awesome. It has the classic X Japan music, Jade, Born to be Free. Go check it out, guys. It's really awesome. And according to them, that there was more to come. Go check it out. It's going to be like 3 minutes long. Well, that's it for JRock News this week, guys. We're going to dive right into Blizzard news. In fact, it's not really Blizzard news. It's all about StarCraft, because there's a lot of new things coming out with StarCraft. Well, as you guys know, Season 6 is finally done, and Season 7 has just begun. I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. Well, as you guys know, when you guys play your games, when the Season 6 is locked, those games you play can contribute to Season 7, to you guys earning a league promotion. So, as I stated in the last video, the ranking system is a little different, so you can face people from Bronze all the way to Diamond, or even Master. So probably not Master for below Diamond, but you guys have a more easier chance of getting ranked up. So that's pretty awesome. That's the latest update for Season 7. And I want to talk about some developer information on Heart of the Swarm, StarCraft Heart of the Swarm. Some really interesting information. If you guys ever heard, all the new units and features of Heart of the Swarm have changed quite a bit since BlizzCon. Since the announcement of BlizzCon. Well, I'm going to take it race by race really quickly and let you guys know. Well, first I'm going to kind of diagnose Terran, kind of tear it apart for you. The Shredder is no longer being used. Even the Warhound is under contention. The Shredder is not being used for its main use, which was for map control. Terran players are actually using it on their enemy, the worker line, under where there's kind of no warning at all. So it's kind of an unfair tactic for Terrans. Terrans are a largely flexible and effective race in StarCraft 2. They have tons of strategies. Blizzard wants to give them more flexible strategies to use against Terran versus Terran plus Zerg and Protoss. The reason why the Warhound's under contention is it's not really offering that much flexibility. It's kind of like just a smaller version of the Thor. There's really no difference, so they might get rid of that altogether. In order to compensate for that, they're working for like an anti-air spider mine, kind of like the Vulture Spider Man in StarCraft 1. So it's going to give the Thor the ability to reach into places of the base where the Thor cannot necessarily get to, i.e. the mineral line. And they're also working on an extremely long-range Terran missile launcher, which can be used against Terran versus Terran to break siege tank lines. But they're also keeping in mind that Terrans have submarines, so they want to kind of balance it out. I'm also going to talk about Protoss. The replicant has totally been cut out, for sure. It's causing the enemy not to make certain types of units, which is causing the flexibility and just the diversity of the game not being that diverse. So they're totally getting rid of that. They are going to experiment with some Nexus abilities, like some mass recall, to warp your units in and out of the battlefield. And they're going to keep the Tempest, but they're going to not necessarily make it more of their. I don't know if they're going to get rid of the carrier. They didn't really mention it, but hopefully, like Husky said, carrier 2012. Hopefully they keep it if Heart of the Swarm comes out in 2012. And with this newest patch for Wings of Liberty with with the Phoenix having a more long-range upgrade. That's better for them against Mutalisks, so there's really no need for the splash damage of the Tempest. Well, and in other news, I also want to talk about the Zerg. Zerg is actually the most stable race out of the Heart of the Swarm because most of the units are very balanced. The Swarm host is going to be the same way, where it can burrow in front of enemy's base and apply pressure in a very Zergy way, according to Blizzard. They're also going to keep the Overseer, which I'm really happy about, and make it more interesting. I don't know how interesting they can make an Overseer, but we'll see about that. And that ability where the Viper had the ability to give its eye to one of your friendly units to make it a detector, it's going to be a purely caster unit. It's going to be kind of, I like to call it an aerial infester. So, I mean, it's still going to have its other abilities. They're also working on some other interesting things like giving the 9-disc network a more flexible, I don't know, giving the player a more flexible way to use the 9-disc canal, where some interesting things I read where it's going to give the 9-disc swarm an ability to spew creep across many screens to create an assault creep highway for your Zerg ground units, which is very cool, as if creep was not powerful enough. And also giving the player the choice to create different types of worms, which can be used to attack enemy buildings and assist the Zerg army in a siege of your enemy's base, which is very interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. As I say now, most of this stuff, I'm kind of reiterating what Husky already said. If you guys didn't watch him yet, about 50% or more of this stuff is probably going to change. That's his guess and my guess at the same time. Because there's different phases. There's the alpha phase, which is this, trying to get the right amount of units. Then the beta phase, which I'm looking forward to, you guys. You can test out the new units. Then there's the release, and then after the release, there's tons of patches like crazy to balance out the game. In other news, this week's Art of War topic, making a comeback. If you are surrounded, the enemy has total map control, you want to use effective strategies like Terran medevac drops to make your opponent fall under the pressure. Zerg 9-disc networks to get behind enemy lines, and the Protoss base warp-ins, where you can get those sneak out probe to get those pylons and warp in some gateway units, some great ways. So if you guys are, like I always say, if you guys are an expert, or I would say even if you're a lower level player, you want to contribute to the forum, be my guest. Go to battle.net, excuse me, to contribute to this. Well, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in this week for Bento Summer Extreme, your number one source for Bento. Bento Summer. Thank you for tuning in to Bento Summer Extreme, your number one source for anime, JRock, video games, and StarCraft 2, guys. And remember to subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook and our Twitter. And until then, guys, remember to Bento your samurai to the extreme.